We got another Decades Plush in the UK. Friends, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here, my name is Lizzie and I'm a Disney Plush collector from the UK. So happy Tuesday, I hope you're all having a great start to your week so far. I'm here with the 4th plush in the Disney Decades collection, which is to celebrate the 1950s at the Walt Disney Studios. This released on Monday the 19th of June, but I already had it on the way because my friend Kerry got it from Disneyland Paris for me. It was confirmed to be coming to the UK, but I just wanted to make sure I had it because that week was quite a stressful week for me and I might have missed getting it on Shop Disney if I'd needed to get it on Shop Disney. It was confirmed to come to the UK and it did come to the UK as expected, but I saved a little bit of money from getting it from Paris, so thank you to Kerry for getting that for me. So this month is a strange one to me, and I've talked about it previously, but it is because it is the first plush we've got that is based on a live action. Now I know that Disney do live actions, they are known for their live actions in some way, but not as much as animation, and I feel like the 1950s had some really good films that they could have done instead of this. For example, in the rest of the collection for the 1950s, there's a Peter Pan playset. The Lost Boys all in a bag would have been absolutely adorable. The bag is the dress transformation in Cinderella, which is Walt's favourite piece of animation. The pin is Goofy and Humphrey Bear, and the ears are 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now, Sleeping Beauty released in the 50s, so I find it strange that they've chosen Cinderella and not Sleeping Beauty. I know they're trying to go for lesser known films for some of these and shorts, but Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella defined the 50s and they've clearly gone with Cinderella but not with Sleeping Beauty. As well as leaving out Sleeping Beauty, Lady and the Tramp was also left out. So to pick a live action, and I'll admit I only know this film because I've watched the remake that was in the 2000s, but I think they could have done lesser known characters from the popular films like The Lost Boys, or maybe a different character in Lady and the Tramp. Jock is very popular but doesn't have much merch, for example. So the one that they went with was the Shaggy Dog in 1959, which is also the year that Sleeping Beauty came out. So you would think that this film would have been overshadowed by Sleeping Beauty, but apparently not. So the plush has come, as always, in the Disney 100 Decades bag. Luckily, no plastic bag over the top because it's come from Disneyland Paris. I imagine it was delivered to them individually wrapped in bags, but because they were put out on stage, they needed to take the bag off. So I haven't got a rant for you this month about the plastic bag situation. As always, the tag's inside the bag and there is a little tiny thing stopping me from getting the dog out. So just going to take that off. My money, my stuff, I'll do what I want with it. Don't see the point of not being able to get it out of the bag ever. Just in case you need refreshing on the Disney Decades collection, travel back in time through the last 100 years of the Walt Disney Company with this enchanting limited series. Crafted by Disney artists, this collection offers a chance to celebrate our most beloved characters and how they come to life on screen. From the 1920s onward, every decade captures hearts and imaginations all over again. Go on a magical journey through the years with pieces that embrace the dreamer in us all. So, The Shaggy Dog is a black and white film released on March 19th, 1959, exactly a year before my dad because his birthday is the 19th of March 1960, and follows the comedic adventures of a young boy named Wilby Daniels. Thanks to a magic ring and an ancient spell, he is transformed into a Bratislavian sheepdog. As a dog, Wilby finds out his neighbour is a spy, and his mission becomes to help apprehend the infiltrator. The first live-action comedy for Walt Disney Studios, the success of this film ended up being a surprise milestone. As such, it created a template for more Disney movies with youngsters, animals, and strange magical events to come. So that makes a bit more sense that it was the first live-action. I didn't realise that. I just think, like, if Cinderella was included, it's not fair to not include Sleeping Beauty, but I do get it a bit more now. So let's get Wilby out of the bag. So this is Wilby. He's in his classic outfit from the film, so I'm told. haven't seen it. Complete with a blue jacket and blue hat. There is an S embroidered on the back. Again, not sure what that's meant to stand for. Probably Shaggy Dog, who knows. He's a very, very fluffy plush, and some of it is coming off slightly, so you'll need to be careful how you display it, and if children are playing with it and things, make sure that they don't swallow the hair. The hat and the jacket don't actually match. They're not the same shade of blue. I don't know whether it comes off on camera, but because they've used different materials, it's not a perfect match. And I'm not sure whether it's not meant to be a match, but it looks weird to me. But his eyes are embroidered and his nose is embroidered. There's no glass beading or anything, so this is suitable from birth, which is good. So what is it? This is the Shaggy Dog Disney 100 Decades Small Soft Toy. It was from Shop Disney UK, but like I said, mine was from Disneyland Paris, and it cost £40 on Shop Disney UK. So what's so special about it? It's the fourth in the collection, and like I said, it's the 1950s this time, and this film actually came out in 1959, so right at the end of the decade. But I didn't realise that they weren't doing live action movies until then, probably because they used to do live action Alice shorts when they first started, so you kind of just think that they always carried on doing live action, but obviously they didn't. They wanted to focus on animation until they'd perfected that craft. So is it worth the money? £40 I was very disappointed with again. I think I discussed this in last month's video, and if you didn't see that, I will leave a card up above. But I just feel that if they're not going to communicate that the price changes every month, they're going to lose sales, because the first two were £35. I was happy with the price for both of those, and then last month's was £58 with no warning, and you would think that because the first two were £35, and all of these monthly collections I collect always stayed the same price, even if there was a rise in inflation throughout the year, the plush were never affected. So to go up to £58 with no warning was a huge shock to me. The only warning we had was that the US got them a month ahead and their price had changed, but the price is never usually a direct conversion from their price, so I was blindsided by how much that cost. And then for this one to be £40, I personally think it should have gone back down to £35, and then I would have said, okay, it's sticking to the price range of the less elaborate plushes, shall we say, because there was 5 last month. So I would have understood that one, but I think this should have been £35 and not £40, because I don't think it's worth £40. Like I said, I didn't have to pay £40. I think altogether with postage and things, mine came to about £36, I want to say, and that's better for me because that's more in line with what I wanted to pay. So I wouldn't have been very happy if I logged on that Monday and saw that he was £40, because in my mind he's not worth that. But they've got you in a chokehold because we are 4 months in, so if you've already got the first 3, you are going to cough up the money for this, whatever it is. I'm just telling you now, if a plush goes over £60, it's doubtful that I will be able to get it. I don't have that much spare money to spend on plush. I have to be very selective about what plush I get. I'm buying a lot on VINTED because they're cheaper, so they could price me out of this collection quite easily, especially by not telling you in advance what the price is going to be. But that is my Shaggy Dog plush. I'm just going to put him back in his little mesh bag. I will note with this one that when I was getting him out, the bag was getting caught on his jacket and kind of taking his jacket off, so be mindful of that if you are taking him in and out of the bag a lot. But there is the 4th plush in the collection. I currently don't have anywhere to display them. There is a space in my room for a shelf, although I think this one would be too tall. The others probably wouldn't be, but it means that they can't go where I wanted them to go, if that makes sense. But when I finally find out where I'm going to display them, I will tell you. I probably need to wait until the collection's done because we don't know what we're going to be getting in the future. So the 1960s is going to be The Sword in the Stone, which I'm really happy about because that's an underrepresented film that me and Joe both love. I am rather nervous about the 1970s because I always hoped it would be the Aristocats. So it got announced before this video went up, and the 1970s is actually the Rescuers instead of the Aristocats, because the Aristocats are the ears. So whilst I would have really liked a Duchess and O'Malley plush, I'm really happy it's the Rescuers, because I've only got one other Rescuers plush, and it is one of my favourite films also. I've got a lot of things for the kitties, but I've got nothing for Duchess and Thomas O'Malley. So I was really hoping that it would be like a double plush and it would be those two, or even a 5 plush set like we saw last month, but they keep going for really out there films, especially if this month is anything to go by, which makes me think that they will think that the Aristocats is too popular. But when you think of the characters we get merchandise for, mainly Marie, I will usually only buy things that have all 3 kittens on, because I think Marie is overrepresented in comparison to the rest of the cast. But I don't think we're going to get that for the 1970s. I am in kind of a bind as well, because Robin Hood is in my top 3 movies as well, which also came out in the 70s. So I would love it to be Robin Hood or the Aristocats, but I have a very awful feeling it's going to be neither. But we will just have to wait until we get the 1960s, which is the same day that the US gets the 1970s, and then we will get to have a look. So that is it from me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and comment down below, did you get the plush? Did you not? Do you like this plush? Are you still considering getting it? Let me know, and I will see you on Friday for another video. Bye friends!